In the last class, I have taken up the unit 1, that is Introduction to Concepts of Organizational Change and Development, Forces, Resistance, Management of Change, Models of Change. In this class, I am picking up unit number 3, that is Management of Conflict, Negotiation, Sources, Reaction, Management of Conflict, Approaches to Negotiation. Okay? Climate and culture I will be covering along with unit 8, when I will be also teaching you cross-cultural management. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
एंड मैंने ऐसा क्यों किया है, क्योंकि ताकि जब हम यूनिट 2 करें उसके तुरंत बाद वी विल स्टार्ट विद यूनिट नंबर 8. ओके, सो व्हाट इज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट? So conflict is a process in which one party perceives that its interests are being opposed or negatively affected by another party. So in simple language, we could say it is a difference of opinion between the two people. It is a difference of perception between the two people that leads to a conflict. And conflict management is a diagnostic process, that is an interpersonal style or maybe negotiation strategies that are designed to avoid unnecessary conflict and reduce the excessive conflict. ठीक है, ये तो मैंने simply slide read करी है, nothing beyond that. So now it's very important to understand that conflict could both be constructive and destructive. That means ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि conflict के negative consequences ही होंगे, उसके positive consequences भी हो सकते हैं, right? So now this is an open question to you. What are the causes of conflict? Yes. कौन बताएगा? जब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में कोई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होती है तो उसकी क्या कॉजेस होते हैं? What are the causes of conflict?
Lack of understanding.
Lack of understanding. Okay. What else?
Miscommunication.
Miscommunication. What else? What else is coming in your mind? दो एम्प्लॉइज की आपस में नहीं बन रही.
Different opinions.
Difference of opinion. What else?
Experience.
Experience, how you will fit it?
Like if the person.
Like?
मैम अगर एक पर्सन मतलब एक महीने मतलब 1 ईयर से ज्यादा काम कर रहा है और कोई जूनियर आके उसको कुछ नई चीज सिखा रहा है तो उस टाइम भी एक्सपीरियंस से वो मना कर सकता है उस चीज को.
मैम
एक्सपीरियंस का डिफरेंस है या पर्सनालिटी का डिफरेंस है?
मैम पर्सनालिटी वो डिफरेंस है.
पर्सनालिटी डिफरेंस, वैल्यू डिफरेंस. ओके, व्हाट एल्स?
मैम डिफरेंट ईगो स्टेट्स.
Different ego states. We read it in ego states, so definitely. What else?
Competition. Competition.
I'm not getting. फिर से repeat कर सकते हो? Spell कर सकते हो?
Competition. COMPETITION.
Competition. Okay. Competition. Competition से conflict कैसे होगी? If I'm competing with you, so it could be because of personality, it could be because of value system, it could be because of the kind of structure that is there in the organization. Hierarchy process ऐसा है कि मुझे आपके साथ एक competition में आना पड़ रहा है.
मैम कल्चरल डिफरेंस भी हो सकता है. कल्चरल डिफरेंस.
Cultural differences हो सकते हैं. Anything else? Now, very important, this is what I have seen in your previous paper that I was taking in semester 1, that is organizational behavior. Question था sources of stress, right? सबको याद है? याद है question?
Yes, ma'am.
In examination?
Yes, ma'am.
बहुत सारे students ने, बहुत सारे तो मैं नहीं कहूंगी, but some students have written consequences of stress. So very important, when in the exam it says causes of stress, reason of stress, sorry, causes of conflict, reason of conflict, what leads to conflict, उन सब में वो reasons आएंगे जिसकी वजह से conflict हो सकती है. And when the question says effect of conflict, consequences of conflict, उसमें वो आएगा जिसकी conflict होने के बाद जो होता है. Correct? So this is just to tell you. The answer is that I have bifurcated what all you were telling me under some broad headings. That means structural causes. Here, when you were saying competition, competition is not explaining that how it is going to lead to conflict. But structural causes is the root cause why this conflict is happening. Why? Interdependence of task is there. Power dynamics are there. Organizational hierarchy is such that it is leading to conflict, right? Second could be personal differences. So when you were telling me that personality differences are there, ego state differences are there, they all fit under the personal differences. क्यों हो सकते हैं? Because individual perception is different, their value system is different, their belief is different, their emotional intelligence level is different. Then again, when you were writing the competition, उसका एक और perspective हो सकता है resource limitation, right? सो कंपटीशन आप एक पर्सन के साथ या एक डिपार्टमेंट के साथ इसलिए कर रहे हो, इसलिए आप एक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट पे आए हो बिकॉज रिसोर्सेज इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आर लिमिटेड एंड एवरीवन इज फाइटिंग फॉर द मोर रिसोर्सेज. सो बजट एलोकेशन के टाइम, स्टाफ एलोकेशन के टाइम, इक्विपमेंट्स रिक्वायरमेंट के टाइम, दिस इज द रूट कॉज ऑफ द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. Communication barrier, you also have covered miscommunication that could lead to a conflict. Role ambiguity, people are not clear about their job. Overlapping duties are there. So all these 4 to 5 reasons could lead to a conflict. Is this part clear to everyone? Yes. Clear? Should
Yes,
I move
ma'am.
to the next slide? So आप जब causes लिख रहे हो, you need to explain what do you mean by competition and you need to cover up the root cause of it, right? What could be the effect of a conflict? Effect, consequences, all are same. Yes. Anyone? Conflict होगा, इससे क्या होगा?
Delay in the project.
Delay in project. What else?
मैम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के गोल अचीव नहीं होंगे.
Okay, it could reduce production and productivity. What else? Hamper growth. ये भी इसको इस तरह से ही put कर सकते हैं. What else? What else?
मैम एम्प्लॉयज जो हैं वो जल्दी जॉब टर्न कर लेंगे, चेंज कर लेंगे, स्विच कर
Okay.
लेंगे.
Employee turnover rate is going to increase. Yes.
Ma'am,
मैम कंपनी का कस्टमर बेस भी डिक्रीज हो सकता है. Conflict की वजह
Customer
से time-
satisfaction or quality of work could reduce. What else?
employees can also be dissatisfied.
Okay, dissatisfaction. Again, dissatisfaction of employees is correct.
मैम
What
वर्क
else?
हो सकता है.
Work environment impact हो सकता है. What else? Could be impacted. What else?
Divya is saying image of company.
Very important. Image of company could be impacted, could be negatively impacted. What else? Anything else that is coming in your mind? Anything else? Let's say we are having a healthy discussion about it, that what are the different ways of keeping an online class or offline class, whatever, right? And some different ideas there. And we need to fix on one particular idea, one particular time slot. What should be the time of the class? What should be the mode of the class, right? And we all are discussing and different opinions and ideas are coming. इससे क्या होगा? Conflict होगी? There will be a conflict in the group. Some will say 7 to 9 suits. Someone is going to say no, 6 to 8 is more suitable, like this.
Yes, ma'am.
Someone is going to say online classes are better. Someone is going to say offline classes are better. Correct? Yes or no? There will be a conflict or there won't be a conflict in the group.
Yes, ma'am, there will be a conflict.
Yes, ma'am,
There will
because
be a
we have different opinions.
You all have a different opinion. Then we start exploring for new ideas in which we could take a class. Maybe we could figure out some kind of an hybrid model. We could come up with some time slots which are better for all. Or we could come up with something that is more, different and maybe more creative for you all. There is a possibility. There is a possibility that we may come up with good ideas how to conduct the class.
Yes, ma'am. They can.
right? So conflict is not only leading to negative consequences, but it could also lead to positive consequences. हर conflict क्या है? Difference of opinion है, difference of perception है, right? So as I covered in the initial definition, that conflict is a process in which one party perceives, that means one individual is going to perceive that his or her interest is being negatively affected by the another person. तो conflict हो गई. So जब ये opinion differences आते हैं, and when we start exploring new ideas, then conflict also lead to certain positive consequences or positive effects. That means it could encourage innovation, it could be a problem solving process, it could improve the decision making, it could also increase motivation among the employees to work hard. Is this part clear to everyone? Yes or
ma'am.
no? Okay, so I'm moving to the next slide. Then there are different levels of conflict in an organization: intrapersonal, interpersonal, intragroup, and intergroup. What is the difference between intra and inter? Could anyone tell? Difference between intra and inter. There used to be inter-school competition. This is a hint. Difference
Basically,
between,
different. Sorry to interrupt. आप कुछ कह रहे थे ma'am.
yes, continue.
Basically, different schools are competing, and inter is within the school.
It's vice versa. Inter-school competition का मतलब था दो schools आपस में compete कर रहे हैं. Intra-school competition का मतलब होता है within the school there is a competition among different groups or students.
Okay.
Interpersonal का मतलब होता है two individuals. If I say interpersonal communication, two people are communicating. Interpersonal conflict, two people are having a conflict. Intrapersonal conflict होती है within me some struggle is going on in my mind, right? और intrapersonal communication होती है खुद से communicate करना. Intergroup conflict is a conflict between two groups, maybe marketing or finance. Intragroup conflict is within the group, team members are having a conflict. Is this part clear? Clear to everyone? Intra hota hai within and inter is with, right? So conflict has 4 levels: intrapersonal, interpersonal, intragroup, intergroup. That means sometimes there are conflict within a particular individual. Interpersonal is with another individual. Intergroup is one group is having a conflict with another group, and intra group is within the group people are having a conflict. So within interpersonal goal conflict, there are 3 types of interpersonal goal conflict. One is approach conflict. That means in a intrapersonal goal conflict. Intrapersonal का मतलब क्या है? Within. So इसमें 3 categories हैं. First is approach conflict. इसका मतलब एक इंडिविजुअल के पास 2 alternatives हैं and दोनों ही positive outcomes लेकर आएंगे. And they need to choose one. So choice between 2 jobs that appear to be equally attractive. Then there is avoidance conflict. That means दो आपके पास choices हैं and दोनों के ही negative outcomes हैं and you need to select one. So there will be conflict in your mind. And last is approach avoidance conflict. That means आपके पास 2 job offers हैं, एक में salary अच्छी है, एक का distance बहुत ज़्यादा है, and you need to pick one. So it's approach avoidance conflict. Concepts हैं, so I'm not getting into detail of it. I will share this PPT with you all. Then next is interpersonal conflict. That means conflict with another person. One reason of the conflict could be role conflict. Role क्या है? Interconnected task है that is given to a particular person. So role conflict occurs when a focal person, that means एक individual, he feels pressurized by role senders to respond and behave in a way that are incompatible with the focal person's preference. रोल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट कब होगी? जब मेरी प्रेफरेंस के अकॉर्डिंग मुझे रोल नहीं मिलेगा सेंडर से. So if I feel pressure while performing a particular role, there will be a role conflict. रोल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के अंदर हमारी 3 कैटेगरीज हैं. One is intra-sender role conflict, inter-role conflict, and person role conflict. Intra-sender role conflict occurs when a single person provides conflicting expectations or signals to someone. For example, मैनेजर ने कहा आपको गोल अचीव करना है कम कॉस्ट में बट क्वालिटी बहुत ज्यादा रखना. So it's an intra-sender role conflict. So the manager here is sending a particular role to an employee where the expectation is such that in less time, low cost, you have to give more quality. So conflict aa gaya. Inter-role conflict occurs when a person's responsibility from different role conflicts within each other. Example, आपके कॉलेज में एक फ्रेंड सर्कल है, they want to have fun, they want to go to a party. आपका एक स्टडी ग्रुप है जो चाहता है कि वो अपने एग्जाम्स के लिए प्रिपेयर करे. सो देयर इज अ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. यू नीड टू पिक वन, राइट? लास्ट इज पर्सन रोल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. So it occurs when role requirements are incompatible with the focal person's attitude, values and views. So एक सेल्स पर्सन को बहुत अनकंफर्टेबल फील होता है when in high pressure उसको सेल्स टेक्टिक्स को यूज करना है which is not within his value system or attitude, right? And the last concept within this is role ambiguity. That means lack of clarity. Sometimes a project is given to a person, but the clarity is not given to that person. Karna kya hai? So they don't know the expectation. They don't know how to perform it. We call it role ambiguity. Then we have intra-group conflict and inter-group conflict. Intra-group conflict is within the group there could be conflict between the members. उसके सारे reasons वही हो सकते हैं जो आपके interpersonal conflict के reasons हैं. And intergroup conflict could occur because of the budget allocation, mainly because of resources. Any doubt till here? They are only theoretical concepts. Any doubt? Yes? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
So I'm moving to the next slide. I will share this PPT so that you could go through all these concepts. Now we will do one case study. In this case study, after this case study, you need to tell me what is the level of conflict, right? So McBroom Kathy is an employee. She faced repetitively workplace harassment by Kent. She struggled with whether to report the harassment, fearing that this act could harm her due to his authority and influence. The conflict escalated as Kent continued his misconduct, causing several stress and professional challenges for Kathy. She ultimately filed a formal judicial misconduct complaint in 2007, leading to Kent's conviction. Case clear hai sabko? Is this case is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Now this is the question. Explain level of conflict in this case study.
Interpersonal.
आपको बताना है इसमें इंटरपर्सनल क्या है, इंट्रापर्सनल क्या है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल लेवल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट क्या है. Leave organizational, you will only tell me interpersonal and intrapersonal conflict in this case study. This is the case. And these are the levels of conflict. Explain intrapersonal and interpersonal conflict using the case study. Anyone?
Intrapersonal is when she is conflicting herself कि report करूं कि नहीं करूं. उसके बाद interpersonal is like when she is going to report कि वो harassment कर रहा है.
Struggling within herself whether to report or not. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And interpersonal is
when she is getting harassed by him and she is going to make a complaint for that.
when she is complaining, it becomes organizational. The
Okay.
conflict between Kent and Kathy is interpersonal. Is this part clear
Yes, ma'am.
to everyone? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
examination point of view, say I'm telling, like for the question number 1, right? Explain levels of conflict using the case study. Use intrapersonal, interpersonal, and जो भी आपका आंसर है ये रहेगा same. In case you are explaining something else in intrapersonal or something else in interpersonal, the answer is completely wrong. But in second question, it is a general question. There could be multiple answers. So tell me the answer of second question. What steps should Kathy have taken earlier to manage the conflict? It is a general question. It could have multiple answers. Yes. What could be the tentative answer according to you? Anyone?
मैम उसको रिपोर्ट जल्दी कर देना चाहिए था.
Okay. She could have filed the case
Reported
earlier.
earlier. Yes, ma'am.
Earlier. Why?
मैम उसके वजह से मैम उसको एनकरेजमेंट मिल गई थी और ज्यादा हरेश को.
Okay. This उसका जो psychological drain out हुआ वो ना होता. ठीक है?
जी.
What else? What else could be the answer of this question? Any other answer that is coming in your mind?
Kathy could have been confronted him to stop that harassment.
How confronted her? Him, sorry. मतलब, how will you explain this?
Basically, I want to say कि अगर कोई harass कर रहा है आपको तो confront कर लेना हर किसी के सामने कि भाई stop this. If he is pushing her और कोई भी challenges वो ज़्यादा डाल रहा है कैथी के ऊपर तो.
मतलब it is not a wrong answer, I would say, but not a very perfect answer. Why? Because in case study, it is already mentioned that before filing a report or before, she went to law, she tried to ignore it, right? Initially, but again, she was facing the same problem. It was a continued behavior. So
Okay.
कहीं पे ऐसा नहीं है that he was, harassing her in the workplace, but somehow it was not known to him.
Okay.
Right? So बहुत perfect answer नहीं है. Correct? Any other answer that is coming in your mind?
In chat box, Divya is saying she could have informed higher authorities priorly before casing any file.
Okay. Reach to management so that the case would have been there within the organization before reaching to anyone else, before reaching to law. Right? Okay. Now, what will be the answer of next question? Both the answers are correct. Within the organization, she could have kept it and she should have reached to higher authorities. Correct. She could have filed the case earlier. Why? Because this was reducing her productivity. She was not able to work. She was facing so many problems. So she could have resolved it earlier. Somehow this is also correct. What is the answer of third question? What measures can organization implement to prevent such conflict in the future? Anyone?
Strict laws, rules within the organization.
When we talk about organization, we could not use word law, we could say policy.
Okay.
Okay, strict policy could be implemented. What else? What else? Anything else? If this is a 5 marks question, 6 marks question, only one line won't be sufficient. You need to write more points.
Posh knowledge.
Knowledge about?
Posh.
Okay. Knowledge about rules and law, right? I could put it like this. What else?
Ritu is saying can introduce secret complaint box.
Anonymous.
Okay, some cell or grievance box could be there where she could have explained her problem within the organization. What else? What else? Sorry, type P error. Okay, what else? What else
मैम
you could write?
टर्मिनेशन के लिए जैसे
Hmm?
मैम जैसे कोई हरेसमेंट वगैरह करता है तो उसके लिए टर्मिनेशन कर सकते हैं, जैसे उसके लिए
She is herself
initial-
is an employee. How could she terminate her senior?
मैम हायर अथॉरिटीज
Higher authorities could terminate, but this is afterwards. It is to prevent.
ओके
ठीक है, आपका ये केस आने के बाद टर्मिनेशन वाला पॉइंट आएगा, बट that could be covered within the policy. That policy could be, more strict. Anything else that is coming in your mind?
मैम ये
मैम
टर्मिनेशन करके मतलब कंपनी जो है एग्जांपल सेट कर सकती है।
Okay, because it is saying in future, so you could write it by
मैम
taking
कंपनी
strict
के अंदर
steps
स्मॉल ग्रुप्स
against
कर
Kent.
सकते हैं।
Company would keep an example. That in that sense you could write. What else?
मैम कंपनी स्मॉल ग्रुप्स बना सकती है गर्ल्स एंड बॉयज के।
Groups. How groups are going to help?
मैम जैसे एक मैम मतलब आया मतलब कोई आगे का मैनेजर ही करता है, जैसे ऐसे हरेस मैम कलीग्स तो करते नहीं ज्यादातर, तो उसके अंदर ग्रुप्स जो रहेंगे उसके अंदर इजी नहीं रहता।
So it's a kind of different cells could be there. Certain groups could be there where you could explain your problem. Grievance committee कह लो. Some
ओके मैम
secret box कह लो that is given to you that anonymously you could file and tell what is happening with you in organization. Some laws could be there so that whistleblower could be protected, right? So I have written certain answers to explain it. Level of conflict is going to same. Intrapersonal, her internal struggle, and interpersonal is a conflict between Kent and Kathy, right? Organization failure is that the judicial system failed to act promptly. You could leave this point, not very prominent. It is just to elaborate the answer. So organizations should have strict policies. You have already told me this. You should encourage the culture of transparency and you should protect the whistleblower in case she is telling to higher authorities or she is telling some outsider in the organization, then her right, she should be protected. And third-party mediators could be involved to handle such case effectively. Is this part clear? Is this part clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Yes, ma'am.
remember, when such question come in exam, for answer 1, the answer is very specific. Writing anything in this answer is not going to work, right? But for question number 2 and question number 3, there could be multiple answers. You could have your own perspective. Definitely, it should make some sense. Also, both the questions are connected. So in case you are telling that Katie should go and to law directly, she should not reach anyone within the organization. So here you should not write something like that a cell is going to work. So you should be able to connect it, right? Okay. The next topic is conflict handling styles. So
Ma'am?
what are the different ways, techniques to handle conflict, ways to handle conflict, styles to handle conflict, all are same. In certain books, you will see techniques to handle conflict. Somewhere you will see ways to handle conflict. Sometimes it is said conflict handling style. They all are same. Clear? So there are 5 types of conflict handling style or techniques to handle conflict that I will be covering in this lecture. First is collaborating, then compromising, forcing, accommodating, and avoiding. So collaborating is win-win. Compromising is partially win-win. Forcing is win-lose. Accommodating is lose-win. And avoiding is lose-lose. Right? Let's cover them one by one. What do you mean by assertiveness and cooperation? Assertiveness का मतलब होता है confident and direct behavior. ठीक है? So when there is a conflict between two people and both of them are communicating with confidence, they are coming up and they are telling, look, this is a conflict, this is a difference of opinion between us. Then we call it assertiveness. It is high when you are confident enough and directly you are communicating. And it is low when you remain silent. You don't tell anyone about the conflict or you remain quiet about it. Next is cooperation. Cooperation का high होने का मतलब है that you are ready to come up with a solution. You are thinking about solution. And low cooperation means बिल्कुल cooperate करने के लिए तैयार नहीं हो, right? So collaborating style is win-win situation. Here people are very open to communicate the conflict and they are very cooperative to come up with a solution. So here the open dialogues are encouraged, joint problem solving methods are used, trust is built and long-term relationships are focused. This is best used when both party concerns are highly important. So like resolving cross-departmental dispute by mutual agreement is an example of collaborating style. Is this part clear to everyone? Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Next is compromising. Moderate assertiveness, that means जब conflict हुई, communication is there, but बहुत vocal होके बहुत high communication, confident communication भी moderate है. Similarly, cooperation भी दोनों parties की side से moderate है. So this is a situation of partial win-win. So it involves in give and take to reach a middle ground, suitable when quick resolutions is needed, balance between assertiveness and cooperation. For example, you want to divide resources equally in a budget meeting. So it's a compromise between both the parties. Third is forcing. It's win and lose situation. Forcing में communication is very high, confidently assertiveness is very high, but cooperation is very low. So it is used when quick decisions are needed. It imposes one's viewpoint, sometimes at the cost of relationship. Means I don't care about the relationship with that person, but I want to give my viewpoint. So it's a forcing style. Often used in crisis situation. So for example, in case company is enforcing the policy against an uncooperative employee, this is an example of forcing style to resolve the conflict. Fourth is accommodating. It is loose win. Okay? That means low assertiveness, high cooperation. आपको लगता है relationship is more important. I want to protect it with another party or person. So I'm not communicating much. Very confidently, I'm not coming up with the conflict. I'm not telling conflict and I'm not getting into conflict because for me, relationship is more important and I'm ready to cooperate. So priority is relationship over individual interest. Useful when the issue is more important than other party, can build goodwill, but they may weaken influence over time. For example, in case you are granting the colleague's request to maintain team harmony. Last is avoiding lose-lose situation. Low assertiveness, low cooperation. That means you are completely ignoring. It is used when more information is needed or may lead to some unresolved conflict, right? Temporarily it is okay, in the long run it is not okay, right? So in case you are ignoring minor personal disagreements or difference of opinion to focus on larger goals. All the methods are clear to everyone? Yes? All the methods are clear? Any doubt? Okay. Now the question is, in the same case study, you need to explain which conflict handling strategy was used. Which conflict handling strategy or technique was used in the above case study? This is the case study I'm talking about. In this case, which conflict handling strategy is used? Anyone?
Ma'am, avoiding.
Avoiding. What else?
Compromising.
Compromising. Okay, let me just highlight here only. Someone is saying compromising. Someone is saying avoiding. What else? Anything else that is coming in your mind? Anything else? Only these two? Okay. How will you explain avoiding? Whosoever told me avoiding, how will you explain it?
Ma'am, like she was not telling, first of all, when she was in this kind of situation, she was avoiding the person who is giving misbehave.
Correct. How you understand which style is there, you need to look into low assertiveness or cooperation. वो कॉपरेट करने के लिए कोई ऐसा नहीं था कि वो कॉपरेट करने के लिए रेडी थी, बट वो कुछ भी नहीं कह रही थी, राइट? एंड कम्युनिकेशन एंड कॉन्फिडेंटली डायरेक्टली टेलिंग was also low in this case, so she was avoiding the case initially, right? Compromising, those who said compromising, how will you explain it? जिसने भी compromising कहा, how will you explain it in the case study? Yes? Any answer? When you are saying compromise, how will you explain it? Reason क्या होगा? How you feel that it is a compromising way of technique of handling the conflict? You need to give the reason. The actual answer is avoidance initially and later it is forcing. और आप उसे read कैसे करते हो? How it is come, it is forcing. You look into cooperation and assertiveness. ठीक है? So why forcing? वो law में चली गई, right? She just filed the case. So cooperation was very low, right? And she was vocal about it. So assertiveness was high. So it's a forcing case. Compromising क्यों नहीं होगा? Because it was not a moderate cooperation. Moderate cooperation होता अगर वो within organization किसी के पास जाती. No. She directly reported the case. So there was no scope of cooperation. Is this part clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So wherever it is written high
Yes, ma'am.
cooperation, it is not her case. क्योंकि cooperation तो उसकी high थी नहीं, it is definitely low. Now you need to look into assertiveness. Assertiveness in her case was initially low. She was not very vocal about it. And later on, even assertiveness was very high. Right? Okay. And how you read win and lose? Forcing में win and lose hai. If she wins, your Kent is going to lose. And avoiding it was lose and lose. Both the parties were losing. Okay? Now the next topic is negotiation. Now from conflict we come to negotiation. Negotiation is a process when two or more parties attempt to resolve differences and reach into an agreement. It could be a competitive way, it could be a cooperative way. Competitive is distributive and cooperative is integrative. Is this part clear? Before I start with negotiation, any doubt in conflict? Conflict में important is level of conflict and second is techniques to resolve conflict. Any doubt in these two topics? Anyone? Should I move to negotiation? Yes.
Ma'am, in our book, only 5
Only 5? In our book, only 5. Your voice is not clear after that. Yes.
ma'am, only 5 techniques are mentioned.
There are more than 5. There are more than
Okay.
5. There are number of techniques. Even in change, there are more than 3 to 4, ways or models of change.
Ma'am, techniques or analytics, it could be the same or different.
Techniques, ways, style to handle conflict. Anything in front of handle conflict. देखो style भी हो सकता है. Style of handling conflict, technique, ways. They are same.
Ma'am, but analysis, its points will be similar.
What is the complete line in your SLM?
Conflict analysis.
I'm still not getting you. Could you repeat it?
Ma'am, in our book, the heading was conflict analysis.
Okay, so even in that also they are explaining the same thing. See, sometimes you will write consequences of conflict, same answer. Effect of conflict, same answer. Sometimes even causes भी कह सकते हैं. Why conflict is taking place? उसमें भी आप same ही points लिखोगे. Is this part clear? So in conflict we have
Yes.
conflict, causes, consequences, levels of conflict, and then ways to handle conflict. These are the 5 points which are covered. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm starting with negotiation. In negotiation, important is distributive and integrative style of negotiation. So first, let us in brief understand what are the different stages of negotiation. First is when you prepare and you do planning. Suppose karo, or let's say 2 parties are sitting for a negotiation, right? So first they define the objectives, right? And they assess the other party's position. This is the planning and preparation stage. Second is they define the ground rules. What will be the protocols? What is acceptable, what is not acceptable? How long the negotiation is going to last? 1 hour, 2 hour, how long? Time frame. Third stage is clarification and justification. So both the parties will be preparing one proposal and they will be putting up the proposal in front of the other party in exchange. That is what they are looking in this particular negotiation, what they are going to exchange the information. Fourth step is bargaining and problem solving. So here they are going to come up with alternative concessions and agreements. And final is disclosure and implementation. Final agreement will be signed by both parties where they will agree that we are ready to, negotiate, and this is the final agreement how we will be working further. In different books, in different texts, you will find that the stages of negotiation is different, but broadly they cover these 5 points. Preparation, defining ground rules, preparing proposal clarification, bargaining and problem solving, closing and implementation. Is this part clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let us understand the difference between distributive versus integrative negotiation or bargaining strategy. Distributive is fixed resources, one party's gain, the other is going to lose. Integrative is when you create mutually benefited solution by expanding the available resources. In other words, when resources are limited in terms of money and time, then one party is going to gain and other is going to lose. We call it distributive negotiation. And when you come up with some mutual gain where both the parties are gaining, it is a win-win situation. We call it integrative negotiation. Point of differences are distributive negotiation is win-lose or zero-sum negotiation. Integrative is win-win negotiation. It focuses on dividing the fixed amount of resources or value. जब resources या time constraint हो जाता है, then we end up into a distributive negotiation. Integrative negotiation is when the focus is on creating the value by combining the interest of all parties. It is going to emphasize on competition and self-interest. Here the emphasis will be on the cooperation and mutual benefit. It often results into split of resources. Here, maximize the overall benefit. It is suitable for simple, straightforward situation where there are clear rules. It is suitable for complex and multi-party negotiation. Distributive negotiation का example हो गया budget allocation, right? Give me one example of integrative negotiation. Distributive negotiation के बहुत सारे examples होंगे. Give me one example of integrative negotiation. Anyone? How a negotiation could be a win-win situation. Budget allocation is example of distributive negotiation. Any example that is coming in your mind for integrative negotiation? Yes? Anyone? Think? किसी को कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा? I've already referred the differences. Please read it and tell me few examples of integrative negotiation. Yes, anyone? कुछ भी माइंड में नहीं आ रहा किसी के? Say something. tell me any
मैम
situation that is coming in your mind. Yes.
मैम विन विन सिचुएशन के लिए जैसे हम ऐसे ले सकते हैं, जैसे आई वांट टू सेल माय फोन and other person want to purchase other one person want to purchase my phone, and both level of satisfaction equal. That time win-win situation.
Want to sell your particular cell phone or product and other one wants to buy it.
Yes ma'am.
Kind
Ma'am,
of.
both
इसमें
levels.
negotiation कैसे explain करोगे? It's just a purchase and sale. Are you getting? It is a purchase and sales. It's how it is part of negotiation. Negotiation में क्या होता है? हम बैठते हैं और डिस्कस करते हैं.
मैम
बार्गेनिंग होती है बेसिकली.
बेसिकली मैम इसमें ये हो सकता है कि अगर जस्ट सपोज person is asking for the price for 12,000 but other person is not willing to pay 12,000 but they come on 10,000 कि ठीक है हम 10,000 रुपए में डील डन करते हैं, तो both the parties are satisfied with the product and the person other with the cash कि हाँ भाई ये negotiation हो गया, हम दोनों 10,000 पे agreed हैं.
So the person who asked for 12,000, he is losing and the other party is winning in this case.
But he is also satisfied ना कि हाँ मेरा goal 10,000 तक का था तो वो मेरे को मिल गया.
But how you are, see, the difference is that you are expanding, mutually you are expanding the value. How that is happening in this case?
Okay.
Are you getting?
Yes ma'am.
Mutually आप उसको enhance कैसे कर रहे हो? Anything?
मैम सपोज कोई दो फ्रेंड है, वो कोई फोन परचेज करना चाह रहे हो, तो एक की प्रायोरिटी उसका अगर कैमरा क्वालिटी देख रहा है, दूसरे की प्रायोरिटी है उसका प्रोसेसर कैसा है, तो फाइन मतलब एट लास्ट वो इस डिसीजन पे आते हैं कि दोनों फीचर उनको एक फोन पे मिल रहा है, तो वो विन विन सिचुएशन हो सकती है, मतलब इंटीग्रेटेड नेगोशिएशन हो सकता है.
Could you repeat?
हम सपोज कि कोई दो लोग मिलके फोन ले रहे हैं, और एक की जो प्रायोरिटी है वो कैमरा क्वालिटी पे जा रहा है, दूसरा जो है वो उसके प्रोसेसर पे जा रहा है, बट एट लास्ट वो इस चीज पे एग्री होते हैं कोई एक ऐसा प्रोडक्ट पे जिसमें उन दोनों फीचर्स दोनों मतलब मिल रहे हैं सेम ही फोन पे, तो वो एक
negotiation इसमें कहाँ है? If two people are going and to purchase two different phones, जिसकी कैमरा प्रायोरिटी है वो कैमरा जाके मार्केट से, it is more about purchase and sale. Are you getting my point? Organization point of view से negotiation कहाँ है?
मैम
अगर सिंगल प्रोडक्ट खरीद रहे हो तो
Kind of. See, the answer makes sense, but लेकिन it is not
Ma'am,
fitting to
organize-
negotiation. Yes.
मैम auction.
Auction. How will you explain it?
Ma'am, because in first the auction will set the value, then the person will auction towards the value.
So one is going to win and one is going to lose now. All examples that you are telling me is more about purchase and sale. मुझे राइस चाहिए थे, मैं मार्केट में गई, मुझे राइस मिल गए. Where is negotiation? Negotiation कब होती है? जब नर्सेस का या आपके स्टाफ का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो गया मैनेजमेंट का, they both are sitting for a negotiation and they are bargaining. Or maybe for the salary, employees bargaining with the, or हम कहते हैं negotiation round आएगा. So basically आप सैलरी को बार्गेन करोगे, दोनों बोलेंगे, एम्प्लॉय विल से आई वांट मोर सैलरी एंड मैनेजमेंट इज गोइंग टू से नो, वी कैन ओनली ऑफर यू दिस मच. दे आर हैविंग दैट डिस्कशन. आर यू एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से?
Ma'am, can I give one more example?
Yes.
The way you explained it between organization and employee, I want to elaborate in that कि जब सैलरी नेगोशिएशन कर रहे हैं, एम्प्लॉय चाह रहे हैं कि हमें 10% का हाइक दिया जाए, ठीक है, बट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डिनाई कर रही है कि हम 10% का हाइक नहीं दे सकते आपको. तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एम्प्लॉयज की सेटिस्फेक्शन के लिए 10% इंक्रीमेंट देने के लिए रेडी हो जाती है. इन एक्सचेंज they are asking kindly give 1 hour extra of your work time, जिससे हम आपको इस चीज को कंपनसेट कर सकें कि आपको हम 10% इंक्रीमेंट भी दे देते हैं और 5 बजे के बाद आपको 1 घंटा एक्स्ट्रा टाइम भी करना पड़ेगा, जिससे भाई हमारी जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है वो प्रॉफिटेबल रह सके.
Correct. This is a kind of integrating negotiation. It is a kind of integrated. Both the parties are giving something. right? तो overall आपने business increase कर लिया, अपना work increase कर लिया. Is this part clear to everyone? अभी भी clear नहीं हुआ तो I'm writing some situations. You need to tell me what kind of negotiation it is, right? You just read it and let me know. Okay. Let's say imagine salary negotiation is there. It is what kind of negotiation it is? Yes, salary negotiation is an example of distributive or integrative. Yes.
Integrated.
Integrative. Could you please repeat?
Integrated negotiation.
Integrated. बेटा integrated क्यों होगी? Why will it be an integrated? It will be always distributive. In 80% cases, it will be distributive. Because if a person is expecting 10,000 and the management is ready to give 8,000, so अगर वो 8,000 में मान गया तो management is gaining and employee is losing. अगर वो 10,000 में management आ गई तो management is losing and person is gaining. Is this part clear? Next
Yes, ma'am.
example, project collaboration. So let's imagine there are two departments who need the same resource. So two departments are there. They both need the same resource. So they decide that equally they will share it. They have a negotiation and negotiation में decide ये होता है post negotiation. It is decided that they will be sharing it. This is an example of
Integrated.
This is an example of integrated. Why? वो दोनों शेयर करेंगे तो दोनों का इंटरेस्ट म्यूचुअली एक एग्रीमेंट आ रहा है जिसमें ऐसा नहीं है वन इज विनिंग एंड वन इज लूजिंग. इट इज अ विन विन सिचुएशन. क्लियर है? सो उन्होंने अपने टाइम स्लॉट्स डिसाइड कर लिए, अपने वेज डिसाइड कर लिए जिसमें वो करेंगे. सो नेगोशिएशन इज इंटीग्रेटेड. दिस वन इज
कंपनीज हो सकती है ना तो मैम जैसे कंपनी हो सकती है एग्जांपल के लिए जैसे अपना जी सिनेमा एंड सोनी कोलैबोरेट ईच अदर कोलैबोरेशन हो जाए.
yes
बोथ
correct.
आर विन विन सिचुएशन.
yes, next situation मेरी यही थी, joint venture. So joint venture is an example of mutually two companies are collaborating their resources. This is an example of
Integrated.
integrated. Because इससे आप अगर Vodafone and Idea अगर combine हुए तो they are just mutually expanding their resources. That is the idea, right? Let's say there are two employees who need time off during the same week. So instead of conflicting, they adjust their shifts so that at least one is available in the office. So this kind of negotiation is
डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड.
why?
मैम क्योंकि एक को तो वहां पे अवेलेबल रहना ही पड़ेगा, तो एक विन लॉस वाली सिचुएशन आ रही है.
Situation ये है that there are two employees, right? And they need time off. उन दोनों को एक वीक में let's say 1 day off चाहिए और 2 day off चाहिए, right? So they negotiate. एंड वो अपनी शिफ्ट्स को एडजस्ट कर लेते हैं ताकि दोनों को वीक में 2 days ऑफ मिल जाए. दिस इज इंटीग्रेटिव नेगोशिएशन. पोस्ट नेगोशिएशन दिस इज डिसाइडेड. So this is an integrative negotiation or it is a distributive negotiation? Integrated. Both are gaining. Both are getting 2 days off. ऐसा नहीं है one is working and other is getting off. Is this part clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Similarly, let's say one more situation I'm saying. Budget allocation meeting is going on. Right? Meeting is going on and production department gets more budget. I'm writing in short so that I waste less time. More budget compared to sales department. What kind of negotiation is there? This.
Distributive.
Distributive. Now difference is clear to everyone. Now read the
Yep.
differences. You will be able to relate. So when you collaborate, when you increase value, mutual benefits are there. It is an integrative in a negotiation where both are winning. Win-win situation is there. And what is negotiation? Please understand. Negotiation is a process. एक process होना चाहिए जहां two or more parties attempt to resolve differences. Differences is conflict to reach to an agreement. So when you say that I want to purchase the cell phone and I went to market and I purchased it, there is no difference of opinion. आपको फोटो क्वालिटी चाहिए थी, मे बी आपको इस तरह का पर्टिकुलर टाइप का प्रोडक्ट चाहिए था, यू वेंट टू द मार्केट, सर्च फॉर इट, परचेज्ड इट. डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन कहाँ है? प्रोसेस कहाँ है नेगोशिएशन का? Nowhere there is a process. Is this part clear to everyone? So process needs to be there, two or more parties need to be there, and there should be difference of opinion, something to resolve. So all the examples that I'm telling there, you could see that there is something to resolve. Salary negotiation. So two parties, management and employee, are going to sit together. They are having difference of opinion where employee feels that he should get more salary. Management feels according to this particular position, salary should be less. Project collaboration. So two departments are sitting together to discuss that who will be getting the limited resources or the same resource that is available in the company. So they will be having a process where they will be discussing that who will get this resource. Third situation, joint venture. So both the companies will be sitting and they will be discussing how they will be integrating. Right? Employee time off situation. Again, there is a difference of opinion. So one person won't leave, other person also won't leave at the same point of time. So they both are sitting and they are deciding, and what they have decided, they could attend different shifts. Budget allocation meeting. Again, it's a process where two or more people, that means sales department and marketing department, production department is there. They all are discussing that who will be getting the limited resource. And everyone is having a different opinion. Every department wants that their department should get more resources. Is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So integrative negotiation could include business partnership, it could include trade agreements, it could include some kind of project collaboration, it could include joint ventures. Is this part clear to everyone? So the next topic is cross-cultural negotiation. That means different cultures have different negotiation style. For example, US negotiators favor direct approach while Japanese negotiators prioritize consensus. Okay, so there is a short activity for each one of you. You need to write down few steps, or in few words you need to explain that how you will conduct a cross-culture negotiation between India and US and India and Japan. So there are two parties, one is from India and one is from US. This is situation number one. You need to tell how they will be negotiating, what kind of differences will be there. In second situation, one party is from India and one is from Japan. Again, you need to explain that what kind of differences will be there when they will be negotiating. To give you an example, I am telling you for India and US. For example, communication. Indians prefer indirect high context communication, whereas Americans value directness and clarity. So they are very, very direct when they are communicating. In India, we rely on hierarchical approvals. So we need approvals from top. This is how we make decisions. Whereas in US, emphasis is on individual decision making. When it comes to negotiation styles, Indians focus on relationship building, whereas Americans are result driven and time conscious. So for them, time is very important. So when any party from India and US are negotiating, they need to first build the rapport. They need to be patient. They need to clearly outline the objective. Right? In similar pattern, you need to do frame a negotiation between one party from India and one party from Japan. Activity is clear to everyone? Yes. Activity is clear? Yes or
ma'am.
no?
Yes, ma'am.
Charted for India and Japan. I have opened it for India and US and I will be giving you 5 minutes. Once you are ready with the answer, you could just switch on your mic and let me know. Done? Ready with the answer? Yes? Anyone ready with the answer? Let me know the answer if you're ready. If you have written something, something is coming in your mind, please tell me. Anyone? You want access to mic? Please raise your hands if you want access to mic. Okay, Divya. Yes, Divya. Divya, you are ready with the answer?
Ma'am, first point is quality difference.
Quality difference. How you will explain this?
Ma'am, like in India, product was highly quality based, and Japan product is non-quality. It'll depend up to the working or qualities.
Is it so? Is it true? Japan products
Ma'am,
are
like
not quality.
some products like our handmade product, it's much better than Japan products.
No, see, we need to understand the cultural differences. We are doing cross-culture negotiation. So what we have to cover is that if you are from India and I am from Japan, right? And हम दोनों negotiate करते हैं किसी project से related, business venture से related. For example, I say Maruti Suzuki. So Maruti was Indian company and Suzuki was Japanese company. अब वो आपस में join हो रहे हैं, right? So negotiation करते टाइम उन्हें क्या ध्यान रखना चाहिए? कौन से cultural differences को mind में रखना चाहिए? For example, both are having different greeting style, communication style, decision making style. So if I am from Japan and I say something that is not preferred in India, so maybe your company or you as a representative of that company is not going to like it, or मेरी negotiation fail हो जाएगी. Are you able to relate with me? So here we are not targeting whether the product is good or not, whether the particular country is doing better or not. We are just working on the cultural differences so that negotiation styles we could understand between different countries. And when we are sitting for a negotiation with different country, we should be able to address it. So मान लो मारुति सुजुकी का example ले लो. So if some Indian party and some Japanese party is sitting together, what kind of cultural differences could be there? Anything that is coming in your mind. One I have explained you greeting. Greeting style is different. What else? Anything else that is coming in your mind?
Japanese are very punctual and Indians are
Okay.
not.
Japanese are very punctual. So इसमें negotiation style क्या आएगा? Okay, चलो. Are very punctual and Indians are not. What else? What else? What else you need to keep in mind? To this, I feel Americans are really punctual. Anyhow, what else in coming in your mind? Decision making कैसा है? What could you say about decision making style? What is the decision making style difference between Indian company or Indian person and a Japanese person? Anything that is coming in your mind? India में क्या होता है?
ग्रुप डिसीजन मेकिंग होती है प्रोडक्ट्स के लिए.
Hierarchy we
Japanese-
have to follow.
जापानीज में भी बहुत.
मैम जापानीज में भी तो हायरार्की ही चलता है मेजॉरिटी के टाइम पे.
मेजॉरिटी मैम.
Okay. Hierarchical decision making is more popular when it comes to India. ठीक है, हम hierarchical approvals के लिए देखते हैं, right? When we talk about Japanese, though they do value hierarchy, true, but still they look for consensus. Is this part clear? क्योंकि उनका idea रहता है that everyone in the group should agree whatever decisions we are taking. In India, we are more focused on hierarchy, less focused on consensus.
Okay.
When it comes to decision making. Is this part clear? ठीक है?
Yes.
Next is, what is the communication style difference between India and Japan? Communication style. How we communicate?
मैम दिव्या का माइक ऑन नहीं हुआ है अभी भी.
Hindi, but they communicate over English or Japan language.
Divya, let me give you the access to mic. From my side, I'm giving access to her, but I'm somehow unable to. I don't know. Okay, whosoever was saying, please repeat. Communication style. What we Indians do.
Ma'am,
हमारी
we have
communication-
many language,
Mansi is
more than one
informal.
language, and they have only one official language.
See, when you will be sitting on negotiation table, you will be having either translator or
Yes,
you
ma'am.
will be knowing English, a common
Yes.
language.
Yes.
मैम
ma'am.
मानसी is saying informal communication in India.
Indirect communication होती है इंडिया में. हम बहुत डायरेक्टली अमेरिकन की तरह डायरेक्टली नहीं बोलते. We could have some objectives, but हम उसकी स्टार्ट एक स्टोरी टेलिंग से करते हैं. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes ma'am.
So we first tell a complete story and then we come to what we are actually trying to say. And there are a lot of emotions that we add to our statements. Correct? What about Japan? हम बहुत सारे इमोशंस डालते रहते हैं अपनी कम्युनिकेशन में, बहुत ज्यादा स्टोरी टेलिंग करते हैं, and then in a very indirect way we communicate what we want to say. So what about Japanese?
Ma'am, they are more direct.
They are highly indirect. We are indirect, they are highly indirect. So अगर उन्हें कोई चीज नहीं भी पसंद आ रही तो वो आपको डायरेक्टली कन्फ्रंट नहीं करेंगे, right? So they are highly indirect and they are not going to confront. So they avoid confrontation, right? Is this part clear? Okay. When it comes to trust building, yes. When it comes to trust building, what is the difference?
Indians trust easily and Japanese do not.
No, trust building एक exercise है. If we both are negotiating, so when we are building trust, what will be my approach as an Indian and what will be my approach as a Japanese?
Ma'am, innovation, Japanese focus on innovation, while on the other hand, Indians love to copy from others.
Okay, we could say jugaad that you want to say, maybe, copying you could want to say, but here I'm talking about negotiation. What is negotiation? Negotiation एक process है, ठीक है, जिसमें दो parties बैठ के bargain करती है when there is a difference of opinion. Is this point is clear to everyone? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. क्रॉस कल्चर नेगोशिएशन में वही प्रोसेस, वही डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियंस पे बार्गेनिंग होगी बिटवीन टू पार्टीज हु बिलोंग टू डिफरेंट कंट्रीज और डिफरेंट कल्चर्स. नाउ दिस पार्ट इज क्लियर टू यू. So one party in this negotiation will be coming from one culture and another party in this negotiation process is going to come from another culture. Now when you say that when you talk about things like what kind of product these people are making, what kind of people they are, these points become irrelevant. What we are trying to understand is कि अगर मान लो मैं किसी जापानीज पर्सन के साथ बैठी हूँ तो मुझे उसके वर्बल क्यूज को समझना पड़ेगा because they are highly indirect and they avoid confrontation. So I need to take a hint out of his non-verbal cues that he is trying to say that he is not okay with this particular, statement or this particular line that I have written in the agreement. वो मुझे directly नहीं बताएगा that they don't agree to this because of this. Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, if they are having a communication with an Indian party, they need to understand that we people look for hierarchical approval. Right? So when they are meeting us, they need to understand that for them, from top management, approval should come. So अगर वो किसी lower level employee से कर रहे हैं, they need to look for the approvals also. Also, they need to understand when it comes to trust building, Indians generally क्या करते हैं? Informal talks करते हैं. And Japanese, they are more focused towards long-term commitments. So अगर वो long-term commitments की बात कर रहे हैं, group harmony की बात कर रहे हैं, they are trying to build the trust. Right? So when it comes to Indian party, they take high risk. So उनके agreement में कुछ भी लिखा है, उसमें high risk and their tolerance level is high compared to Japanese, who are more risk averse. Right? Is this part clear? Similarly, bargaining style कैसा रहता है? So when we talk about bargaining styles, Indian are pervasive. That means they're open to debate. But lekin when we talk about Japanese, they prefer silent negotiation. Is this part clear? Yes or no? So when you
Yes,
say
ma'am.
we prepare this kind of product, we prepare that kind of product, we do this, they do that, this is more like stereotyping. Here we are not talking about stereotyping. We are not judging someone based on what culture they belong to. We are talking about that if two people are coming from different cultures and they are negotiating and they are conducting the negotiation process, then what all differences due to culture could impact their negotiation process. That you need to mention. Is this part clear to everyone? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So similarly, I have covered few points. There are many more points you could cover, like communication, decision making, negotiation style. So Japan values formality, patience, long-term relationships, similar to India, but with more structured etiquettes. So approach should be you need to show respect, you need to avoid aggressive tactics, you need to be more patient, and you need to understand that the decision-making process will remain slow when India and Japan are coming into some contact. This is the final case study, then I will be winding up the class. So a software development company is working on a major project with a tight deadlines. Two key team members, Raj and Priya, frequently clashes due to different working style. Raj prefers a structured step-by-step approach while Priya believes in flexibility and last-minute adjustment. Their conflict have led to project delays affecting team morale. The manager, Aman, must resolve this conflict and ensure smooth collaboration. To manage this conflict, he arranges a mediation session where both Raj and Priya express their concern. Aman encourages active listening and mutual understanding. Aman employs an integrative negotiation approach where both parties seek a win-win solution. Raj agrees to incorporate some flexibility while Priya commits to following a structured timeline for critical tasks. With clear communication and compromise, Raj and Priya find common grounds, improving teamwork and meeting the project deadlines. Questions? What were the primary sources of conflict between Raj and Priya? Anyone? You want me to
Ma'am,
open the
Raj
case
is
study?
preferring a structured.
Repeat.
Raj is preferring a structured approach, and Priya is just fostering the flexibility in the organization.
Correct. But what is the source?
And the source maybe Priya want that everyone could innovate the idea, so there should be some flexibility. And Raj want that everything will be completed in a deadline.
Different approaches.
Different approaches. Okay. What else? I will be covering one point in this. See, all the answers are very well written in the case study. Correct? Uh, when I take up case study in the class, I try to cover different aspects and different mistakes that students are doing when they are writing down the case study answers. So one mistake what I see is when the questions are directly from the case study or the answers are directly there in the case study, they simply copy paste the lines. So when you write that Raj prefers structured step-by-step approach while Priya believes in flexibility in last-minute adjustment, in the answer, this answer is right, absolutely correct, but not very appropriate. आपको primary source बताना है और sources में मैंने बहुत clearly cover किए हैं, causes आएंगे. If I take you back to the first slide, just give me 1 minute. When I say sources, causes, they are one and the same thing. You need to cover up one of them. Is there a structural cause? Is this a personal differences? Is there a resource limitation, communication barrier, role ambiguity? आप working style difference भी बोल सकते हो इससे. That is also correct. But writing the same line from the case study is not very appropriate. Is this part clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, आंसर वही है जो आप बता रहे हो, but you need to frame it. So you could write that they are the difference or the source is different working style if you're not getting all those points, or you could pick the broad point from there and then you could explain it. And in again, there you could pick this line and you could explain this line, that is also okay. But starting May, you need to mention the source. Okay. Second question. How did the manager Aman approach to conflict resolution? How did the manager Aman approach conflict resolution, or what is the technique to handle this conflict by Aman?
Collaboration.
And maybe with a partial win and with
Collaboration.
collaboration. What else? What else?
Mutual understanding.
Style. You need to talk about some style. You need to talk about some technique. It is not necessary that a technique should be out of those 5 techniques. It is
Ma'am,
clearly mentioned.
interpersonal negotiation.
Interpersonal negotiation. Interpersonal conflict, level of conflict है. Interpersonal negotiation क्या है? 1-2 people are negotiating. This is the meaning of interpersonal negotiation. This is how this fit to the answer. Is this part clear? Anything else?
Yes, ma'am.
See, in the case study, it is written he created mediation.
Integrative negotiation.
Integrative negotiation could be the answer of the next question. Here we are talking about the approach to conflict resolution. As I mentioned previously, approach to conflict resolution, technique
Maybe
to
we
resolve.
can include joint venture kind of, means we.
How? इसमें ये सब आएगा. Technique to handle conflict. Approach to resolve conflict. Ways to manage conflict or handle conflict. Conflict management style. आप इनमें से कुछ कवर करना है. In tasks, we have done collaborative, avoidance, forcing. We have discussed those 5 styles. Are you able to relate with what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
You
Ma'am,
could not be
can this
general. You need to be very specific. It should be either one of them or certain styles which we have not covered in the class. Then it will be there in the case study. So either he is using collaborating style, compromise style, forcing style, accommodating style, or avoiding style. Is this part clear? In this case study, it is clearly given to us that he arranges a mediator. So style is mediating style. अगर आप collaborating में भी जा रहे हो और उसको explain कर रहे हो that it is a partially win-win style, that is also correct. Is this part clear? Next question.
ma'am.
Which negotiation approach was used in this case? Types of negotiation, types of bargaining, approach of negotiation, they all are same.
Integrative.
Integrative.
Integrated.
Right? It is clearly written in the case study that it is a win-win situation and an integrative negotiation approach was used. Last, what were the final resolution reached through negotiation? Final resolutions reached through negotiation. You have to explain the last paragraph, but you don't have to copy it. Is this part clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So what were the primary source of the conflict? It is a difference in working style, right? How did the manager Aman approach to conflict resolution? You could write mediation, picking it from the case study, or you could explain how it could be collaborating. Which negotiation approach was used in the case? Integrative, it is clearly mentioned in the case study. Final resolution, you need to cover up the last line in your own words that he agreed to incorporate this and that, and Priya committed that she will be doing this. So it was a win-win situation. So here also I have used the word leading to a collaboration. So collaborating style is also correct. So I could use mediation. I could also explain collaborating style. Is this part clear to everyone? Yes?
Yes,
Clear?
ma'am, clear.
So that's it. That's it for today. But now it is open for your all the doubts. Ask your doubt if there is any doubt related to either conflict or negotiation. Any doubt? Yes. Any doubt in this topic or in this unit? Everything is clear? So I will be sharing this PPT. You could go through this PPT. In case you are facing problem, you come up with the problem in the class. Okay? Last, so first class ki PPT that I have already shared. In case you are facing any problem in that particular unit, you may ask me in this class. I will be also sharing this class PPT. In case you are facing any problem in this particular class, you could ask me in the next class. Is this part clear?
Ma'am,
Yes.
where you
Yes,
share
ma'am.
this PPT?
I have given it to some students. You need to ask them. Or in case you want it, you could let me know. And the recording will be available to you.
Okay, ma'am.
Right?